crack it right now. A few new names out there here and there, but so far, a lot of the tried and true members of the community making their appearance known. Oh, Cyberdark accidentally hitting slow, has to take a quick reset here, but that's not going to be too big of a deal. It does have to remake that file, though. Definitely don't want to be on the slow message speed. Meanwhile, Janus is going to get us a look at those starting items. We are going to have the double key start with money. We do have that sleep spell and decent strength here, so no hard choices to be made. Just go buy yourself some keys and see what's in that treasury.
As we learned from the plane race, it may be better to go search a little bit and see if there's a hand axe out there. But I do believe that he's going to go, or they're going to go straight back, buy some more keys, maybe check the basement, maybe check what's in the treasury first. But definitely not going to have any trouble opening any doors this seed.
Yeah, there is a possibility in this situation of doing a level 1 gold grind, which Cyberdark is actually setting up right now. Very heads up play here. Janus going to check the basement first. I imagine Cyberdark will check the treasury first. I think that's the usual play here. And it looks like, I believe that's Swamp South, but I couldn't quite hear which direction he was trying to go there. So it's looking like that was probably Swamp Cave, and now we're probably going to... Yeah, both players are going to go ahead and get a look at this treasury here. Unfortunately, neither of them actually drew hand axe money from that opening chest. They rolled pretty low. I believe you get anywhere between 500 and 750 from that chest.
Ooh, another magic key in there. More gold, so we do have a gold grind available. Fairy water and and an herb. So they'll be able to grind all the way to full herbs, full keys right here.
Yeah, a full complement of the beginner starter package here. It looks like Janus opting to stop at 5,300 would be enough for maybe a broadsword full plate large combo, or, you know, kind of anything a little bit below that here. So kind of taking the safe bet, just in case there are no towns immediately on start. You don't want to take too long here before you get out onto that map.
No, but seeing as you likely don't have a chance for another grind unless you reset, not a bad call overall. Oh, is that that is a town?
That is a town.
And unfortunately, it's in that area where they may be in a non-zone 012 territory. So the chance of there being a very tough enemy there is quite real. Luckily, cast a sleep spell on that metal scorpion. And maybe in a second, after killing this red slime, we'll have an idea of what town that is. And we have Cyberdark86. So 5,300 is enough for full plate. Oh, wow. Full plate broadsword and large shield. But Hawksness is not going to have the items we want right now.
Yeah, Cyber's going to be very unhappy to see this town and see that it's Hawksness, assuming he goes in the same direction here. We do see Janus really trying to paint these zones and get a good look at what might be out there. Throws the fairy water at the druid, doesn't roll high enough. Does have that sleep spell, might just be able to kind of pick it apart here.
With 12 strength, they're still not going to have enough to do consistent damage against it, but as long as it stays asleep long enough, druids are in that tough territory where you really need 2 hurts or 2 fairy waters to fully kill it.
Yeah, it's rarely worth it to go for druids, unfortunately. They just give so little experience for how much HP they have. But right now, you'll take any experience you can get, and that's going to rocket Janus to level 2 and almost to level 3 right off the bat there. 343. Sorry, what was that? 3043. And Hurt and Stop spell, that's pretty big. And another town over here. This one has to have a weapon shop. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. The spell of Hurt is going to help with those druids. And, wow, additional spell. What do we get? We got the spell of Heal. Very nice. So the town of Breckenary, not just a nothing town, because there could be something good here.
Well, Cyberdark, if he sees this town, still going to be a little bit disappointed here. There are some decent purchases to get, but nothing 4 digits, although this is honestly perfect for Janus is that hand axe. Was that hand axe chainmail large shield combo? That's going to be the perfect way to get out of these early levels.
Very nice, and we have the grave with the metal slime in it. Ooh, metal slime with spell of hurt.
Oh boy.
So,
do no hurt, but this could be gigantic here.
Unfortunately, with the scaled metal slime stats, this is only going to be 32 experience. But as we know that level 3 even is only 19 strength, so this will give them level 3, and if they come across another one, they'll be able to kill it again as long as they are... oh, they do have the herbs, good.
He's got 2 damage on this thing already. Just needs to get one more hit. Will be able to get himself to level 3. It's a little scary when they have that hurt spell, but he gets it. There you go. Straight to level 3 goes Cyberdark off that metal slime. But Janus is going to be hot on his heels here again. With that hand axe, is already able to fight these metal scorpions. And that's going to be level 4. And we've seen some okay levels so far. 416. 3-2, and yet more spells hurt more. There it is. We're off to the races.
Incredible, incredible luck as we come across a cave up here. Cyberdark finds gold. Must have been keys and armor warlock. Interested to see what that is. The fighter's ring. I guess that's about as armor warlock as you can get.
I have never seen armor warlock before. That's a new one. I thought I'd seen them all. That's a new one. And Janus, meanwhile, checking that cave to the north, finds Harp Turn-In Cave. And also a metal slime here on the screen for Janus. So this one would be worth a little bit more than the one that Cyberdark killed earlier. Don't know exactly how much off the top of my head. I want to say 128.
Should be 128 if they're able to kill it. Unfortunately, a little too much strength, and it is going to run away. But 20 XP from a Drakima is not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Cyberdark now really just looking for any kind of town to try to get a payoff for his money, but he's not going to find it here. Could go west and see that town of Breckenary, but unfortunately isn't going to really be able to buy much there either, so it's really going to come down to how long you can hold on to this money and if that's really going to pay off much at all. Janus, meanwhile, now getting to level 5.
Level 5 bringing 12, 13, 2 and 2. Great strength and agility. Stats are not being slow tonight. Actually about average. The early strength is very nice to have, especially with that hand axe. The hand axe that is being purchased right now by Cyberdark86. With this mid-tier equipment... Oh wow, another town up there. Nice. With the jerk cave right next to it. But with the heal spell, and with the equipment that they have, and a decent amount of MP, dying is possible. I don't want to commentator's curse it, but a lot less likely now, especially with that town up there. Oh, unfortunately, we know it doesn't have great stuff.
These shops, wow, they are absolutely trolling both these runners here. They do have that gold grind option available, but no items to purchase. Even Janus, with his modest gold grind, hasn't been able to spend most of his money. But yeah, Elmore, I think you make a really good point here. I mean, again, with the availability of the gold grind, with some of the gear that they're able to get out of even just Breckenary and the combination and that hurt more spell, there is a decent possibility that there aren't going to be a lot of deaths in this seed. And 51 agility already at level 5 is actually really, really good. Pretty much anything all the way up to a blue dragon, you're going to have somewhere between 55 and 60% chance to run, and then, you know, up from there. So fun police are basically going to be the only thing that's going to be stopping these runners. We have not seen any just yet.
Yeah, Fun Police and AK-47 will be a one-way trip to Hertzville, as I almost said Rye Guy. As Cyberdark86 is level 5 and gets that massive strength boost.
Janus, meanwhile, finding the absolute perfect target. Magic Wyverns give the most experience that you can get from an enemy that's guaranteed to die in a single hurt more. And so gonna go ahead, pick up that level 6, okay. Still, I mean, this agility is actually looking really good. Again, just for level 6, even if they got mediocre gains from here, they'd be looking pretty set for Sharlock.
And, you know, running away aside, even with only the chainmail and the large shield, 51 defense power means that they're not a guaranteed one-shot at their low HP that they normally would be with this low of HP, as Cyberdark is doesn't know it, but he's about to get trolled.
Yeah, really unfortunately, he made it all the way up here to this other town, was really hoping for anything, and in frustration just scrolls through that weapon and armor list. I don't blame him at all.
And the double troll, because the gold in the back of Garanham is going to be sufficient to buy as much gear as he already has.
And yeah, I hadn't actually put it together just yet, but you do make a good point, Elmore, although they do need a little bit more in the HP department, but they are actually really close to the point where, I mean, right now, a blue dragon couldn't even one-shot Janus. It can do a maximum of 36, so just a little bit more HP, and they'll get at least one chance to run away from most things that they find on the map.
And, of course, they're not worried about dying if it happens. Since their gold is not nearly as substantial as Cyberark. Cyberark is the one who's really going to be concerned about that. Next level for them, 5, 1, 1, and 3. So being a little bit more meager with the stats with these levels, not unexpected, given the large amount of gains at the early levels.
Yeah, things do tend to average out over time in Randomizer, and right now, again, yeah, seeing decent gains early on, flattening out a little bit, but you never quite know when you're going to see that plus 50 in one stat. So just going to keep on moving here. And fortunately, you know, we did see Cyberdark have to do that little reset there at the beginning. Was unfortunately left his menu there on slow, having to delete the file, restart it, does the gold grind, but still has that hurt more spell, not too terribly far behind in experience. Actually, right now, a little bit ahead in exploration, but may opt to leave. No, he is going to go ahead and check tablet.
Yeah, runners like this, they're experienced enough, they know it doesn't take that long to dive down, and there's a 1 in 42 chance of something that they need in there, and a very good chance of something that they want, especially given the number of gold and other chests they've already seen so far. And Death Necklace could be a factor later on, so good that he's found it now. And just a few seconds ahead of JanusZeal, who is going to find it here momentarily. And while we explore the tablet cave in your chat, we have our runners for tonight. Please give them a follow and give them your support. Both great runners, very experienced, and a good positive contribution to our community. Also, we have myself as the restreamer and commentary, Lavkin commentating, and Aaron2U2 in the background doing the tracking.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful to see how hardworking everybody is here in the community. Janus, I have to imagine, came out to this tile in order to do a little kind of meme validation search on the Sparkover tile, but for his efforts, he gets a blue dragon that's going to go ahead and send him right back. So, nuts to your memes. That's what that guy said.
Well, I didn't see if they were able to search it. I was staring at Cyberdark's screen. Were they able to get the search off before the...
no, they didn't get the search off. Just an immediate death. Pretty much right off the right stepping onto the tiles. So very unfortunate there. Looks like they are going to opt to now head through Swamp Cave and see what's going on there.
Oh, that's the grave of Garen, I thought. Or are you talking Cyberdark86?
I was talking Janus, but I had believed that for the movements that was Swamp Cave, and it does look like it is in fact the grave.
Nah, this is the top of Grave, and that is where Cyberdark86 saw the metal slime earlier.
Yeah, Aaron's echoing what I was thinking. Just based on the movements, I thought that it was swamp, and it looks like Janus thought it was swamp as well. I actually have no idea. Okay, now I know where Janus is. Janus unfortunately got himself a little bit stuck there, but it's okay now.
Yeah, it's a very confusing cave once you get lost in it. It's far more confusing than Tablet Cave if you're lost, I believe. Just a lot of... If you're off the beaten path, a lot of dead ends, and if you take the wrong turn, ooh, it's tough.
Yeah, it's really hard to get your bearings, too, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, even staring at a map, this one, because of the way it meanders, is very difficult. Cyberdark86 finds a Wraith Knight. Unfortunately, doesn't have the Hurtmore to use, or else would be using it.
Okay, is able to get away. I don't believe we've seen this town yet. The Golem gonna try to stop him, but no. He is able to get into Cole. Now, will Cole finally have something to pay off Cyberdark's efforts? Gonna go ahead and check. You don't want to buy shiny new armor just to see Erdrick's armor here. You're gonna have to search first, and nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So we've seen at least one cursed belt so far, so we know one of the search tiles will have something on it. Something, though, that he is able to get is the magic armor there in that shop. The first thing he's had to spend his money on.
Yeah, so one of the 3 big ticket items was for sale here. So it looks like now we are going to have something either on the coordinate spot in Hawksness or potentially both. And of course, as we move along here, with that Hurtmore spell, it's going to be looking a little bit more like the runners may want to go ahead and see what's there. I mean, if it's an Axe Knight, you can pretty much take it on at any time now. They have that Hurtmore spell. Janus, meanwhile, diving the grave, finds a Dragon Scale in the 4th chest.
Yeah, the Dragon Scale and whatever's in the 5th chest, I do not believe Cyberdark86 has seen yet.
Yeah, I don't think... Cyberdark did not opt to dive his first time here. So Janus is going to be the first one to get this little bit of information.
Yeah, Cyberdark had 32,000 gold the first time he went in there. I'm surprised he went as far as he did and risked that, 2 or 3 minute grind.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. I think more often than not, you end up just walking that path, or at least in my experience, you end up walking that path with basically no encounters. So, and even if he did die, I mean, all the doors would still be open. He could grind that gold up again if he wanted to. And Aaron or Mike putting out in chat that he had saved before going down anyway. And this, I believe, has to be either Rimildar or Cantlin.
I think that's our only choices, yeah. And it's Rimalder.
One more chance here for Cyberdark to pick up more of those big ticket items, and unfortunately, still coming up empty.
Well, the good news is that when he does find Cantlin, there are 3 shops there for him to check. Right now, getting trolled by the NPC, gonna decide to save and wait for the NPC to walk away. That was preventing him from going through that door, and wow, decided to camp out all night to block him. Gets away right now, and for 2 keys, we get a Erdrick Sword.
Ooh, hello.
That's exactly what he wants to see right now. Yeah, Erdrick's armor is absolutely fantastic, but you have the magic armor, you have the large shield. Biggest gain right now is that Erdrick Sword. Huge clear gear advantage and exploration advantage for Cyberdark86 right now.
I think Aaron was, I was watching Aaron play FFR earlier, and he was kind of lamenting the fact that in Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer, you can just delete NPCs off the map, and in this one you can't. Cyberdark probably wishes he could have done that right now.
Yeah, we need to get that flag set enabled. I think Magru may be working on it. The version 3.0 of the Randomizer is in the works, and they're still working out a few of the bugs, but it's totally playable right now if you want to try it out.
13 more response speed at level 8. My goodness.
And that's JanusZeal with Cyberdark86 going with that strength agility build. He's going to be even more than that, probably closer to 77, 78.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, already now, 40% to run from Red Dragons, 43 from Armored Knights, and everything else is 70 or 80%. So, again, I would not be surprised. I mean, Cyberdark has yet to die, as we know from the fact that he's still holding on to all this money. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see anyone die for the rest of the seed. I mean, again, we have not seen pretty much any Charlotte monsters, with the exception of that one monster that Janus could have completely avoided by just not stepping onto that little desert tile there.
That's true. Golems and Stonemen are, I think, all we've seen. Stoneman, unfortunately, does not quite have the attack power to punch through just yet, but Cyberdark86 does. They also have substantially more defense because they have that magic armor now. Screen turned red, but I think the Hurtmore is going to do it as JanusZeal gets 53 more experience points. Blue Dragon siding on Cyberdark side.
No.
Oh! Now, fortunately, the only thing he's really looking for right now is a Silver Shield, and he's got pretty close to Silver Shield money even after that death. Not going to take a save, though. Interesting.
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, if he does find that... So the situation now, if I were looking at it from Cyberdark's perspective, you're pretty close to Silver Shield money. If you find Caitlyn and it does have a Silver Shield, you've still got Mountain Cave somewhere on the map. And honestly, with the grave down there in the basement of Tantagel, you've got a free gold grind set up whenever you want it. It's not something that he needs to rush into. And with Erdrick's sword, he's got a pretty good chance of taking out the Stoneman. Gonna start off with the Hurtmores here.
Wow! Is able to pull off a Hurtmore. Goes for number 2 and gets on the third hit. Oh my goodness.
Excellent work there. Goes for the 50-50, lands it twice, manages to get just enough damage out of the sword in order to take it out. Picks up the Stones of Sunlight.
Stones of Sunlight. Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was our first quest item. I missed that Janus had the harp.
Yeah, harp was at the bottom of grave, I believe. How vanilla is this? But yeah, so Stones of Sunlight, one of the 3 items required to enter Charlock via the Rainbow Drop. The other 2 being the Staff of Rain and Erdrick's Token. Erdrick's Token is found somewhere on the map, and the harp is used to trade in for the Staff of Rain once they find that shrine.
Yeah, which I believe is just north of Start, so I'm a little bit surprised Janus hasn't turned that in already, but can do so at any time. No need to rush to do it now.
Typically for the harp, I try to turn it in as soon as possible, just because if I run across the token, run across the stones, and then run across, the Jerk Cave. Oh, they know where the Jerk Cave is, so it's probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You do kind of want to turn those in as efficiently as possible, but yeah, having already seen both of the turn-in caves, it's not going to be too big of a rush to turn those in. And now Janus getting in west out here in the same area as Cyberdark was not too long ago. Cyberdark, meanwhile, looking along the east coast here, I think around where Janus was. So now kind of picking up that information that the other had. I have to imagine that Janus will go north from here and likely find that sword in short order.
That he will. That they will. And I think they're probably searching for, well, clearly the Mountain Cave, because at least one of the items may be in there. And the town of Caitlyn would be helpful too. We don't know what the search coordinates are. We don't know if the Princess Rescue will be required. And neither of our runners have found Swamp Cave, so pretty much anything that they find now is going to be useful. Alright, immediately down south to the end of that peninsula, heading straight north. We'll see how far they continue. And if this is the first continent, it's kind of a small first continent from what I've seen thus far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's a turnoff somewhere that they haven't found yet. I want to say Cyberdark got sniped somewhere around where Janus is now, so there could be one of those little turnoffs or alcoves somewhere nearby this area. It does look like Cyberdark pretty much explored the entire east coast of the map, so we'll have to go back west to find any progression. Potentially still looking for that the actual swamp cave, as I believe we have not seen Stones of Sunlight, Mountain, or Cantlin. So any of those could be potentially on the other continent.
As we have JanusZeal coming across from Mulder. Should be able to get there full MP for those Hurtmores, or nearly full. And able to make it no problem. Let's see if they go straight, checking the number of keys to make sure that they have enough in hand, and then going straight down here. They will see the magic armor, unfortunately do not have enough gold to purchase it.
Yeah, Janus, as predicted, is going to come up here to Rimildar. Go ahead and pick himself up that key. Cyberdark looking potentially a little bit lost. I'm not sure if he'd been in this cave before. Checks to see if he has the harp, does not. And now just needs to figure out where is that swamp cave. It could be this one right here.
No, this is Swamp North, yeah. Unfortunately, the silver harp is at the bottom of grave, which means that Cyberdark86 is going to check pretty much everything else before he goes back down there, unless he's down to his last item that he needs. For instance, if he finds token here in the mountain cave.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left to find in terms of locations, so as long as Cyberdark's able to clear everything out with relative efficiency, won't be too long before he realizes that he does need to go back and dive the grave.
And fortunately, both Staff Trade-In and Jerk Cave are fairly close to Tanagal, so for instance, if he finds Cantlin, and the mountain, searches mountain, finds the token on the search spot, knows immediately he has to go back down to grave. So I think the penalty for skipping those last two chests is not too great tonight.
Okay, so I just want to point something out here now. I do have the benefit of, yeah, Mike pointing this out as well. I appreciate that, Mike, because that's the exact point that I was going to make. I do have the benefit of I've got a little spreadsheet here that I plug values in to get exact values out. He can miss twice against this Demon Knight and still, like, he would need at least 3 hits to die to the Demon Knight, and he could potentially kill it in a single swing. I mean, you got Erdrick's Sword, Magic Armor, and the large shield. He's got 75 defense. You gotta fight those things. And you really just have to, I mean, the one thing that I feel like I've learned from this tournament season in particular is you gotta know, even if you don't have a whole lot of HP, when you can and can't damage race things, so that you make sure that you're getting experience while you're out on the map. And unfortunately, just maybe not quite having that game sense here. I mean, obviously the Stoneman, you don't want to be messing around with that, but every little bit of experience counts in these seats, and you can see Janus already getting level 10.
Obviously, I did not make the brackets, and I'm not quite as good as some of the other runners, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution when I'm exploring with those Demon Knights. Yes, the chances of them killing me are low, but the reward when you're that far out, especially on the second continent, is, I don't think, quite as great. And it looks like that second continent might be quite large, considering how small the first continent has been. They may need to go quite some ways to get to where Cantlin and the Mountain Cave are.
It's definitely a good point. Sometimes you want to make sure to preserve your location on the map, and that may have been what Cyberdark was looking to do. In any case, agility looking really good here for both runners, already above 80 and still climbing. It's really just that HP and MP that's holding them back right now.
It really is, and that 84 agility on JanusZeal's side is going to be 90 agility on Cyberdark86's since he's got that agility build. At that point, he'll be a coin flip to run away from red dragons and better than every other creature on the map. So, looking to be pretty survivable right now. 2 deaths for Cyberdark86, 3 for JanusZeal, and this may be a seed where we stay in the single digits for combined death total.
Yeah, I wouldn't be terribly surprised at all. I mean, really, the only reason I think Janus took 1 intentional death, and so we basically have 4 unintentional deaths so far. And really, the only reason for that is just the really, really, really poor HP for this point in the seed. Everything else looking pretty decent so far. Well, the MP is not looking too great either, but.
And did we have a back of... Has Cyberdark86 seen the back of Garenham yet?
I am not sure. I'm actually struggling to remember exactly what's back there.
Ah, that is where the stones are. Blues would deal 2 breath is exciting. Luckily, with the agility they have, they are a heavy favorite to run away. Thank goodness.
Okay, so my confirming both got the herb out of the Stones Cave. So now Cyberdark not going through Swamp Cave, wants to make sure that he checked this entire area over here for any potential of the... Basically, there's 2 locations left that Cyberdark is looking for. And it looks like they're both going to be on the other side of Swamp Cave. I don't know exactly how far north he was able to get the first time. Maybe would want to go south this time coming out of Swamp Cave. We'll have to see what decision he makes here. And he's going to go ahead and check the spike tile.
Yeah, when he cast Repel, I was expecting that. Ooh, it is our first Fun Police sighting of the night. Probably, yeah. With 82 agility, they have a much higher chance than normal seeds to get away, but yeah, not enough.
46%, but in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, that might as well be 0, and a little bit unfortunate there, but likely just going to head right back and just go right on through. And just make a mental note that if the HP picks up later, that could be a potential grind spot. Might be a little bit better than Stone Men. Kind of a pick your poison there. And Janus here really just exemplifying exactly what I was talking about. 56 hit points, but has that Erdrick sword, has the decent defense provided by the agility, and just goes ahead and takes out a wizard. And is right there. I mean, so close. I think this is going to be level 11 right here. Indeed it is. And now taking a 2-level advantage, nearly double the experience of Cyberdark86. And even with very little resources left, I mean, this is almost a guarantee. This is basically a guaranteed 2-shot right here. And yeah, I really just think these are the things that you got to do when you're out on the map.
And with the stop spell, that's a clear indication that they need to swing at them. Oh, and we have Caitlin finally. Cyberdark86 may get a sighting of their silver shield. Not there.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that Cyberdark found it before finding Mountain Cave, so there's a pretty easy gold grind setup. If there is a silver shield, then Cyberdark decides that he still wants that, wants to do that second gold grind. So we're going to go ahead and check the other open shop here. Janus, meanwhile, I believe has just found Mountain Cave. Wait, no, I'm not sure what this is now.
No, I think it's... Is that Swamp South? Because they're going pretty far. I'm not exactly sure where they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they were either. Unfortunately, we now find out that blue dragons have deal 2 breath. Not the greatest thing to see.
Oh, that 0 was nice, but 76 not much. That is likely second continent, and I believe we're going to get through those fun police to get to the princess.
Yeah, no kidding. Meanwhile, yeah, that 15 HP, pretty significant here. We do see about 23 HP difference here between Cyberdark and JanusZeal, and that's pretty huge because honestly, I mean, you don't have that heal more spell just yet, but we're getting really close to a spot where you could go ahead and take out that red dragon. I mean, 108 attack power already. And the first person to go ahead and grab that princess is going to have that much easier time finding this search spot.
Yeah, luckily Cyberdark86, knowing that the coordinates are as bad as they are, next time they go through, may try to damage race the red dragon. Not sure. Once their HP is not going to be quite as high as JanusZeal's because they don't have the HP stat prioritized. But I think we're going to need heal more for it. And our tracker getting a little complacent on the desk because our runners just aren't taking very many. He's keeping track way better than I ever do, so I can't say much.
Dueling Scorpion battles here on the screen for both of our runners. Again, I mean, 35 minutes into the seed, and Janus is down to basically 2 locations that they need to find. And Cyberdark's down to just 1, so it's really just a matter of how quickly he can sweep this second continent, now finding out that there is no silver shield. And, ooh, gonna go ahead and try to hurt more this blue dragon, and there it is! Cyberdark now getting the bad news right after JanusZeal did that they do, in fact, have that deal 2 breath. Was gonna try and go ahead and maximize the experience options, now knows better than to do that. Janus now finding Swamp Cave, and let's see how quickly they can clear the second continent.
Well, if there's no if there's no blue dragons on their search, it might go pretty fast. I think the second continent's going to be quite large. They're going to check right now and see that the Fun Police is in the spike tile. Without the spell of Heal More, ooh. Wow, yeah. Unfortunately, blue dragons are taking the preponderance of deaths tonight. That deal 2 breath is nothing to joke around with.
Cyberdark, meanwhile, went ahead and counted out as far west as he possibly could, and assuming that this location here across these little isthmus here, if that is on the second continent, then we could potentially count this out without the princess. I mean, it is a straight west shot.
It really is. Not the reverse count, but definitely a count, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely possible as long as you mark that you get a little reference point there and be very careful with it. And now Janus back here to contend with the Stone Man. Isn't going to go for the hurt more strats. Is just going to try to damage race this thing with Heraldric's Sword. Does manage to do it. Will get the Stones of Sunlight. And now, well, let's see. What could be on the map right now? We do know there is an item on the map, so we could find, we've got the token, the flute, and the yeah, token, the flute. That's pretty much it.
Token, flute, and armor.
Armor, yes, thank you.
So best case scenario right now, both token and armor are in Mountain Cave, and you can just ignore the flute. Go straight at it once you get the spell of Heal More and sufficient stats to go into Charlock. If token or armor is on the search tile, ooh, that's a toughie.
Yeah, it's real tough, and Janus, I think, is unfortunately going through a part of the map that they've been through before. I can't remember if this is second continent or not, but it's looking a little bit familiar here, this east coast of the first continent. Cyberdark now getting level 10 for himself here, and already at 90 agility. That strength, you see the difference in the strength agility build here, and wow, that defense is just going to be sky high for Cyberdark. Would honestly nearly be defense breaking Stoneman by the time he gets into Charlock if he had a silver shield.
Try and do the math in my head. Yeah, that'd be pretty close. really nice to defense break those blue dragons. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen tonight.
Yeah, not without. I mean, if the agility gains continue the way they have been, there's an outside possibility they could do it, but indeed not very likely. I believe you need to hit somewhere around 95 defense to do that.
Let me check real fast. I think I've got it.
98 is the magic.
Yeah, 98. I think we all just looked at the same Excel spreadsheet at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100 is the magic number for Stone Men, and then, yeah, pretty much everything down from there. And now I do believe it is that mountain cave here for Cyberdark, because that's going to pretty much give us everything that will be in no mode, if that's the case.
I don't... Is it? Well, I'll be. There we are.
Alrighty, so this is going to give us that information we were looking for earlier, because we basically know that whatever we don't find in here, if, for example, we don't find the token, we know it has to be on that search spot. So now just going to make our way through, getting a whole bunch of encounters on the way to this first chest. Doesn't get stopped by the blue dragon, finds himself a torch.
Unfortunately, this top floor is pretty dangerous with only 53 HP. It's going to need to get that level 11. Honestly, no, level 11 for him will not be enough to survive one DL2 breath, as they don't have the strength HP build.
Yeah, exactly. Going to be a little bit lacking on the HP there, and that's the one drawback to strength agility, is you may actually find yourself having to grind another level. There is the token, so now the map has to be either the flute or the armor. It's one of those terrible situations unless the flute or armor are here, where you may have to count out the coordinates just to find nothing of use.
Oh, there we are. So the map has to be token or armor or flute, like you said. The question is you know that something is going to be downstairs engraved.
Oh yes, that's true. Cyberdark does know it's at the bottom of the grave. However, as I was saying before, Cyberdark has found the spot that he was counting from before, so he's directly west of Tantagel. If he marked his spot correctly, he could just pull this search off now, cross that off of his list, and then he knows, because he is thinking now it could be the harp on this search tile. And wow, this might wrap back around. I'm not sure exactly how far west he is. I don't think he could be nearly far enough.
No, not 76. This is probably the 40-ish territory.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. You may have to go down for pretty far south and then head back up north to get back to where it is that you need to be. So this is kind of looking like a potential rescue scenario. This is... whew, this is tough.
He might just sit here and grind out a little bit, maybe try to find some of those middle slimes. Definitely counting as he's going south.
Yeah, Aaron, I was thinking the same thing, but unfortunately, I mean, even with these stats being what they are, that red dragon is just a little bit too tough to take on without the Heal More spell. Janus would basically have 3 guaranteed attacks. It's possible.
With
It's not
112
super
AP,
likely.
it's possible, but yes, I agree, very unlikely. Cyberdark86 getting their level 11, getting the bad news that it does not come with, well, much except for HP, but definitely not Heal More.
Alrighty, Cyberdark carefully making his way around the second continent, really wants to knock out this search spot is, again, from Cyberdark's perspective, it's a 2 out of 3 shot that there's something important there. So I don't fault him for doing this at all. And again, either way, as soon as he finds this, he's going to find out immediately that he needs to go back to the grave, and then he's in grind and go mode.
And the clear experience advantage goes to JanusZeal right now. It's one of those seeds where there's no good grind. Stoneman on one, Spike Tile, Fun Police on the other. Neither is exceptional. If we get the spell of Healmore at 4,125 XP and is able to go kill that Fun Police a little bit faster, both experience advantage and
yeah, I think honestly at this point, if I'm JanusZeal, looking at that 112 attack power, once you do get that Heal More spell, I would absolutely be going for Reds right now. You know, you can see, looking at the spreadsheet, I mean, it's 3 to 8 attacks for Reds and 3 to 7 for Stonemen. You might as well be going for the 255 experience in that instance, in my opinion. Then, of course, on top of that, you've got the outside spell now, and it's Swamp North, and you're basically right there over by Garenham. So that seems to be the best option from what I can see.
Agreed. And I just noticed as well, in addition to not having the Heal More spell, right now they only have the opportunity to cast 3 Heal Mores. So they're going to need a few more levels even after they get the Heal More spell, unless it comes with a massive gain.
Alrighty, well, Cyberdark coming in the grass here for this item may have messed up in that really, really tough north-south count. I have to imagine this is far enough west, but the problem is that you just have no way of knowing exactly where you are. And again, it's just so tough, and so going tile by tile here is Cyberdark really just feeling like this is the right area.
Just systematically searching left and right, left and right.
This is a tough one.
It's a good cordon search pattern, so they're not going to search the same area twice, likely. They'll find it eventually.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, kind of hedging his bets a little bit, not quite going coast to coast. So you start to wonder if maybe he goes too far south here, or maybe isn't needed to go a little bit more north if he's going to unfortunately end up missing it that way. Oh boy, this is a tough one. This is a terrible situation to find yourself in when you're playing. Meanwhile, level 13 here for JanusZeal, looking at HP and Heal More, exploding with 33 up to 109. And yeah, he can take out that Red Dragon whenever he wants now.
Absolutely. Still only 30 MP, so I imagine there's going to be quite a few Red Dragons taken out very shortly.
Alrighty, well, Cyberdark
going right back to the grave. Great call. Good seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Does need to go back to the grave. Needs to check that off. He's got 2 chests to check. He knows, you know, there is potential. He could just find the armor in the harp and just be good to go from there. We know the harp's going to be down there, and I think an herb in that 4th chest. Maybe it was dragon scale. Either way,
it was a dragon scale in the 4th chest.
Might be a reminder for Cyberdark to equip it if he didn't already. And I think do we see Janus counting?
I didn't see any counting, but I've been looking at Cyberdark for about the last 5 minutes, so maybe that's my bad.
Yeah, it looked like there was some careful walking going on, but might just be trying to paint some corners on the coastline here. And again, trying to figure out these last locations that he needs. We know, of course, that the token is in Mountain Cave, which is right here. So Janus is going to have most of the information that he needs. The only thing left that he needs to find is Cantlin, which we know is in the southeast corner of this continent. So should not be too long before they find that.
Now, with the stats that they have, what's the chance that they just go straight to Charlock and see what's in there. The reason I say that is because you will be killing enemies on the way down, probably. You've got a large amount of defense, so they're... Without reject armor, it's going to be tough, but do you just go down there and look for it?
I mean, the odds-on play says that it might be there. At the same time, I mean, if you're Janus, so what's going to happen here, Mike, this cave is on the other side of swamp, so Janus has gone through swamp. So you've got Mountain Cave and Swamp here, and Cantlin over here. There is the Dragon Scale equipped for Cyberdark. But anyway, what I was going to say here is Janus picks up this Cursed Belt. That's 2 Cursed Belts now for Janus. They have seen Cole, and so they know that there has to be coordinates. So you almost imagine a play here to go immediately pick up the Princess before heading to Cantlin, and just knowing that that's one last thing you need to do. And so the last thing to that point of, do you go ahead and dive Sharlock? I mean, they've got 30 MP. It's a little bit tough.
Sure you are with that. And, so they have seen Swamp Cave. I don't know if they know what's on the spike tile in Swamp Cave just yet. They're about to. And luckily they'll go there with Heal More and 115 attack power, so as we said before, easily we'll be able to take out that red dragon, probably enough to get to that level 14, which hopefully comes with a large amount of MP. Now the question is, if you're Cyberdark and you know there's a 50-50 chance of it being on the search tile, do you go for it? Answer is clearly no.
Yeah, I can't go ahead and do the homework now. I think this would be about as good a time as any to get it done here. Has all the items, and both Turn-In Caves are basically just north of here, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do.
And I guess another question is it faster to grind in Charlock? You may have Armored Knights or Green Dragons or things that are easily hurt moreable and don't do quite as much damage.
Indeed, unfortunately, you could see those blue dragons. We know they have that deal 2 breath, but we haven't seen anything else too challenging. Could maybe, we don't know what AK-47s have, if anything. Green dragons, star wyverns, werewolves. Yeah, there could be some decent grind options there.
And if there's wizards that they're damage breaking, that could be easy too.
Absolutely. So yeah, it just remains to be seen here. I think unfortunately, if you're Cyberdark, you still don't really have that option of reasonably killing that red dragon yet that's on the swamp spike tile. I'm also not sure if Janus knows that it's a red dragon or not, because the one time I saw them go that way, they got stopped by a blue dragon, which is the first time that we did see that they had that deal of 2 breaths. So Janus is, I imagine, here heading south. I think they're going to run into Cantlin in short order. I think that's it right there.
I believe it is.
I mean, if I'm Janus, and if Janus knows that it's a red dragon, that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Although this Magidrake isn't too bad to find. The one good news, of course he doesn't know it yet, but the one good news for Cyberdark is that HP will not be a limiting factor for this seed. Although if the strength doesn't pick up soon, using the Death Necklace may be an issue.
Absolutely. And yeah, okay, so Mike having a better time parsing the map than I was. It does look like the only thing on that opposite continent was Cantlin, and so does need to find Swamp Cave ASAP. Although, actually, no, Janus has been to Swamp Cave. I guess they just haven't been through to the other side yet, so need to go back there in order to find Cantlin and to piece together the last bits of this seed, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Are they buying more keys preemptively in case they need to buy something in Charlotte? Buy something, I mean open a door?
Well, there is a possibility that they'll need to open up that treasury door if the armor is not on the map. Again, we still do have that flute out there somewhere.
Or are they looking to
Although
kill some metal slimes?
Yeah, I'm not sure why Cyberdark's back in the basement. Other than, yeah, there's no benefit of gold grinding at this point. So, yeah, I'm not really sure.
Maybe he's just looking for the demonites that are down there? They're hard to see unless you hit them.
I suppose he could be just looking for that quick level 12 here. I mean, yes, metal slimes are nice if you can get them, but at 108 attack power, you don't have a great chance at killing them. But yeah, the path to, level 13 here, it's either 12 or 13 where they got heal more. I can't remember which off the top of my head. I guess this is one of the better options you have. It's not my favorite option, but with 24 MP, they are limited.
So they have the rainbow drop, they know where Charlock is, and... I don't know how I feel about that. Because Charlock, you're going to have something you can kill. Even if it's not a red dragon or an AK-40... Yeah, AK-47 you could actually kill, just take a lot of MP. You could find a wizard in there, a star wyvern, or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, and Janus getting level 14 does now have enough HP to wear that death necklace if they so choose. And yeah, the MP still just absolute trash.
There's
Cantlin. Janus is now in no mode, and I have to imagine as soon as they see coordinates, they just beeline back for Swamp Cave.
Absolutely, and with a significant XP advantage going down there, 2,500 XP.
Yeah, I unfortunately really just don't see a way back in this one for Cyberdark, because here's the thing. I mean, again, Janus, I'm not entirely sure if they have seen that it's a red dragon on the spike tile or not, but it doesn't matter because they can kill it regardless. And then it's really just a smooth sailing. I mean, you rescue that princess, you go back to Swamp Cave, you pretty much have a free walk to your item, and then, I mean, again, if I were Janus, I would do all that. That takes maybe about 10 minutes tops, and then you just go back and you kill red dragons until you're ready to go into Charlock. And so that just does not leave a whole lot of room in my mind for Cyberdark to catch up unless Charlock is incredibly nasty.
Yeah. Best case scenario, armor's on the tile. Worst case scenario, flutes on the tile, and you grind for the rest of your levels in Charlock as you go get that armor. Once you have sufficient MP to do it.
I mean, Mike, I get that, but it's tough. It's not the most attractive option in the world, but I like it a lot better than what Cyberdark's doing right now, especially with 119 attack power. I mean, odds are you're going to be four-shotting this thing. They've got a ton of HP, decent defense to work with, and basically, with this being so close to start, you could just opt to Death Warp out of here and walk back, and it's about the same as taking an in-trip in your average seed.
That is. Unfortunately, the difference between 82 and 72 defense is more substantial than I think they're expecting. Oh, is able to get it on that last shot. The advantage of Stonemen, even though they're worth less experience, is that they are very vulnerable to the sleep spell, and you can probably stay there a little bit longer. The question is the amount of experience you'll get in one shot greater than the amount of time it takes to just go out and heal up?
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to break out the charts and really try to compare the two grinds. But again, so here, if we plug in the 119 attack power, take a look at the numbers here.
Where is Asmati Games when you need them? Best known
Indeed.
for
So
doing the experience tracking.
absolutely. So with the larger HP pool that the Stonemen have, it's 3 to 6 attacks for both. And so, given that, I think you just have to go ahead and take the Red Dragons because you're almost getting twice the experience per kill, and it's the same amount of time taken for both. You're basically looking at similar damage outputs. I mean, slightly less from the Stone Man, but I just don't think you're going to be getting more Stonemen per trip than you are Red Dragons. So, in terms of just experience efficiency, I don't know. I think I got to go with the Red Dragons for this one, but at the end of the day, it's up to JanusZeal. They do still have to check that overworld search spot and then make the ultimate decision after that. And Cyberdark now getting level 13, getting that heal more spell, that massive HP boost, and is now apparently done with this part of the grind.
Absolutely. Done with those mediocre kills and depressing Metal Slimes running away. Gonna stay at the Motel 6. Go straight to the Swamp Cave. Save the princess. Their one advantage is that they pretty much know where the tile is and how to get there. So they may be a little faster getting to the specific search spot. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome that significant XP deficit. Although, if the armor is in Charlock, going to have a much easier dive with the magic armor as opposed to the half plate. Still hasn't found the rainbow drop for JanusZeal. So even though they have an experience advantage, there are other advantages that Cyberdark86 does have. It's a little bit closer than I think it looks right now.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Giannis not immediately going in to do the homework right now, but again, they don't need to do that anytime soon. Really just focusing on getting that last check that they need out of the way. That GPS has been turned in, and so as soon as they get to the other side of this swamp cave, it's really just a matter of time before we get that answer as to where the armor is. Worth noting that if it is the armor here, that's going to be a gigantic defense boost for Giannis, which in my mind, really only makes those red dragons even more attractive.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone but another red dragon will call a red dragon attractive, but I see your point. As a fellow lover of torture seeds, I'm kind of hoping that it's that the armor's not here, but I know that everyone else probably thinks or probably wants it to be.
Alrighty, so a little bit north and a little bit east, and this is exactly where we saw Cyberdark trying to find the spot, and he needed to go a little bit, I believe a little bit further north. Oh, there it is, and it's the armor! Oh my goodness.
Oh, huge find right now. Grind and go mode. The question is, where do you do the grinding? And another thing to mention also, going with that strength HP build, that if they get a mediocre strength gain and another large HP gain, that death necklace may make a difference. Whereas if did I say mediocre on... Wow, it must be a long day for me because I can just not put two thoughts together. If it's a mediocre strength and HP gain and lots of MP for the next one, and they have just enough HP to use that death necklace, Cyberdark86 will not be able to.
Cyberdark now putting down that rainbow drop, just wants to get that little animation out of the way. And at this point, I'm not sure exactly what Cyberdark's doing. He should also be in no mode, really just needs to rescue that princess and go try to find that map item.
And our tracker pointing out, does JanusZeal have Death Necklace? I don't believe I saw them go into the tablet cave, which means that they do not have the Death Necklace.
Yeah, that could potentially be a factor here. With the attack power being what it is, sometimes you may just want to salvage that possibility for double or even triple attacks. And now Cyberdark is going to go find this item, knows exactly where he needs to go, I believe. Yep, just a few tiles off. Really unfortunate, as could have potentially had this about, I don't know, half an hour or so ago, but has it now. Cast the Hurt More spell, a little bit salty. That's okay. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, throwing the fireball at the void, and you have to feel a little bit behind now if you're them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it's the flute, then it doesn't matter, but knowing that you could have had the armor, 35 minutes ago, it's a real feels bad moment. But now, both of our runners find themselves in grind and go mode. We've been debating it for the past, 20 minutes or so. Which one do you choose? You've got several options here. You can go into the top floor Sharlock. You can go over and fight Stoneman and Hawksness. You can even go over and fight Red Dragons in the Swamp Spike. And I think that's what Janus is about to do right now.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some fun police learn to not have fun, or learn how unfun the back of a sword is. I'm not sure what the expression is. But we'll see. Both of them look to be going for those red dragons, following the same theory that since they're worth substantially more, 60% more-ish, than the Stonemen, that it's just going to be a little bit faster overall.
Yeah, Janus is going to be the one pulling over the fun police and giving them speeding tickets, and really just needs 2 more in order to get this next level, which again could come with pretty big MP gains. This is, of course, what they're hoping to see. And so could be making some efficient grinding after getting this level right here. 95 agility here for Cyberdark. Really not going to be afraid of anything on this dive coming up in the near future. However, again, looking at the stats, I mean, 3,000 experience difference is pretty hard to overcome. 10 attack power, 1, 5, 22, not going to be enough, but will make this much more efficient for sure.
Absolutely, that 10 strength is something to behold. Putting them at pretty much go mode for everything except for MP. 56, unfortunately, is nowhere near where they want to be. Using the Death Necklace, they won't have any chance of doubles. Not using the Death Necklace, they'll need too many swings. So definitely going to go for 16, and we'll see how far this takes us.
Yeah, and so, yeah, now it's pretty much right about a 3,000 experience difference here. Oh, Janus rolling just a bit too low. Very unfortunate there. Probably should have gotten 1 more Red Dragon before having to go back, but that's okay. Gonna go ahead, refill that MP, go right back out, and continue the slaughter. As, once again, all we're looking for, I mean, 129 attack power with this HP, you could really easily be a favorite to go now. Just needs a little bit more MP. Cyberdark now switching over to Stoneman.
So I guess we'll get to see now which is the more efficient grind. Will the sleep spell with this... Oh, I'm not even going to cast a sleep spell. Just going to swing away.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do this, the main advantage is you do have the option of casting that sleep spell and saving yourself some damage over time, potentially saving yourself a couple of heal mores if they stay asleep for a particularly long time, but Cyberdark deciding that that's not what he wants to do. He just wants to kill things as quickly as possible, not necessarily as efficiently as possible.
Of course, an excellent move will do that. Make it a little bit faster. Still about a 2,800 experience difference between the two, as JanusZeal with 48 NP is unfortunately sent back from a DL2 breath on a blue dragon. Nice crit indeed, Sloshy. Now, even though there's 3,000 experience point difference between them, the difference between a Bad Luck and Charlock could make all the difference. We do know that there's DL2 enemies in Charlock. And Cyberdark86 picks up level 14. It's going to go right back for a little bit more. We'll see if they start to cast the sleep spell. Nope, just going to swing away. Wow, 47 attack against a Stoneman. Holy moly. Probably going to 3-shot this fairly easily. Oh!
Yeah, 119, still looking at about 4 swings on average. 3 is possible if they roll very high on all of their attacks. So, yeah, we could get a look here. I mean, Yana's still holding strong with that 3,000 experience point lead, but again, whenever Janus decides that it's time to go into Sherlock, that will be Cyberdark's time to catch up, but we'll need, I have to imagine, at least one failed dive in order to come back into this. But, of course, that's why we call Sherlock the Great Equalizer. You never know what's going to happen.
Sherlock is the Great Equalizer, and agility is just a number. Who knows what's going to happen? I think that Stoneman death was quite unfortunate as well. Still had 6 NP, so could have cast Asleep to save himself right there. One thing to note, that even though the Stonemen have a little bit less defense, I believe, but Red Dragons, I believe, have a little less hit points on average. So
it's pretty significant. Red Dragons roll 80 to 106, and Stonemen roll 102 to 135. So that's why, you know, at 119 attack power, they take almost exactly the same amount of turns to kill. And again, that's why I really personally strongly favor the Red Dragon grind over the Stonemen grind. If you're going to pick the Stonemen grind, I think you have to be putting them to sleep at least once.
Absolutely, give it a shot for the first time. They only have a 1/3 chance of waking up, and that could be the difference between being able to stay there for 1, 2, 3 extra Stonemen and take a little bit more advantage of that grind. Although the Stonemen are a little bit closer to Tanagal, so the Death Warp is a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, exactly what you said. I mean, you're mitigating damage over time if you land that 1 sleep and get even 1 or 2 turns out of it. Here we go. 1, 11, 9. Still not going to be enough. That HP getting into the ludicrous stat here. But going to be looking for, I want to say 88 would be good enough to go.
88 is what I'm thinking as well, because you're at the point right now where you're getting doubles even wearing the Death Necklace. And putting the Death Necklace on, getting that 140 AP is going to bring your number of required attacks down to the 11-12 range. So 11 heal mores, that gives you a couple to burn on the way down. The one thing to remember is if there's Blue Dragons in Charlock, and you know, it takes a couple turns to get away from them, they could take off a substantial chunk of hit points with that DL2 breath.
Indeed, and yeah, good job. Yeah, pointing out the fact that we are getting into potential doubles territory with that Death Necklace on, and confirming that Janus does have that Death Necklace. I mean, it is actually, yeah, Aaron's pointing out that it's possible. But yeah, you would have to get down with all your resources. However, 89 agility is about as much of a guarantee of getting down with all your resources as you could possibly ask for. Janus taking a look at the stats. Will they go for it?
Now here's the question. You're the 23 seed versus Cyberdark86 at 10 seed. do you feel slightly behind just based on their ranking above you? And obviously not. They are going straight back to the red dragon. They're not going to take any chances. And they do know that the blue dragons have the DL2 breath. And as mentioned in chat, the Arbor Knights, the AK-47, still not seen. I don't even think we've seen an Axe Knight yet.
No, I don't think we've seen many Axe Knights yet either, so there's a lot of unknowns as for what abilities could be awaiting us in Charlock. And, you know, going to the seed thing, personally, I wouldn't really be too concerned about it. I don't really look at seed numbers. I kind of look at the names and kind of my experience as to what those people tend to do or not do over the course of a race. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about the seeding here. I would just be mostly concerned about my efficiency, which, talking about efficiency, we're looking at now a 4,000 experience point difference. It has only grown over the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely. And as JanusZeal gets more MP, it's just going to make it that much worse as they're able to stay here a little bit longer and just continue to grind away.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see here, you know, if the RNG over time would favor the Stonemen if you did land that sleep. And yeah, Mike pointing out that, you know, Janus did pick up that level pretty quickly into this grind, so did get the benefit of the MP a little bit faster. But again, I just want to point out really quick that that also comes down to making the efficient experience plays out on the map. I mean, Janus was working with a near double experience point advantage from about 20 or 30 minutes into the seed, and this is where it really starts to pay off. I mean, Janus is very likely going to pick up the level right here, and could be very much ready to go.
Unfortunately, runs into a blue dragon, is swinging away. So
it's 2 to 3 hits, and he's got plenty of resources. I completely agree with this. Once you've got the armor on, that DL2 breath becomes pretty much a non-issue. I mean, a red dragon, maybe if he even gets another blue dragon trying to walk back and forth here, would get the level that way. But regardless, these 2 red dragons are going to go down without a problem here. Now down to 112 experience for the level. We'll go ahead and get it from this red dragon, and it's just a little bit more MP. Just a little bit more MP, and I think they go for it here. Let's see what level 17 brings.
Ooh. No MP, or I would say an insufficient amount of MP. But maybe it's enough.
I think Janus is thinking about going for it. Yeah, it looks like they're thinking about going for it here, and I have to say, it's a bit closer than I would like on resources, but again, 90 agility. I mean, you have, again, as good odds as you could possibly ask for to run away from pretty much everything in Charlock, and as long as you get all the way down there, I mean, you're looking at what? I want to say 117 HP or something like that with the Death Necklace, 87 defense points. You've got a pretty darn good chance at getting a couple of double attacks out of this here, and 142 attack power. Well, I mean, they're going for it.
They are. So looking at about 10 swings, maybe 11, but definitely somewhere on the order of a 10 to 11 swing kill. 8 heal morphs in the tank if they make it down there with all of them. Definitely a chance for doubles. Their defense is 1 shy of the required to make the max DL2 breath equal to Dragon Lord's max attack, so they do have the chance of being hit for 49. Although with the amount of HP they have, probably not a big deal. Wow. So either they are hero walking like a madman, or the first floor was just full of enemies that they are damage breaking.
Yeah, I want to say they're damage breaking werewolves, star wyverns, and wizards. So yeah, it could be full of those.
I think Star Wyverns are 86 actually, but still, they're damage breaking a lot of enemies. And the enemies that they are damage breaking, they should be able to run away from quite easily. It's still, the AK-47s I think are the great unknown right now. We do not know what abilities they have.
Absolutely, yeah, those would be the things that could really stop them. And that's also the nice thing about having so much HP, even if you're not going to hold on to it for the Dragon Lord 2 fight itself, it allows you those opportunities to run away from things and not even really have to use any herbs. I mean, you could run Phil from, you know, a Red Dragon a couple of times, an AK-47 a couple of times, assuming they don't have that deal 2 breath in their back pocket, and you're just fine. Just walk it off. You've got Erdrick's armor, you've got that heal walk, you don't even need to chew on any herbs. And, ooh, deal 2 breath coming out of the Star Wyvern, but again, you just walk it off.
Absolutely. Now, with 155 HP, you can take, what, 4? Possibly? Definitely 3. And so, if they find a zone that's laden with wizards that they can just damage break and heal walk off, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, so now coming through to the final zone here, we do see a Stone Man, which is being a little bit troublesome here. I mean, we all know it's, you know, 70-80% to run away, but Stone Man doesn't care. Going to go ahead and punch him a few times, and JanusZeal is just going to go ahead and walk it off. Absolutely no reason to check this treasury. Randomizer 2 coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, everybody, coming in from, I believe, the Nest card EMP, any amount of money race. Welcome in. We have JanusZeal putting on a clinic in a pretty quick seed. It was really just a matter of finding all the locations. It was down to that map item for the armor, and Janus making the efficient plays in the exploration. And it is now down to what is on the spike tile. It's a red dragon. We've killed thousands of these in the seed already. Janus will have no problem here.
That it is, and welcome Randomania 2. Please, no spoilers. I am looking forward to watching that race later. Welcome. I think my compatriot hit most of the high points. Unfortunately, Cyberdark86 did have one hiccup earlier where he was just a few tiles off trying to do a fairly complex count. Had to go back and get the princess. Unfortunately, the princess was hidden behind a red dragon, so with their low amount of hit points and no heal more spell, it was pretty tough until they got that one level. And now you can see Cyberdark86 making quick work of that red dragon there in Swamp Cave.
Alrighty, making as efficient use of these herbs as possible going into this fight. I have to imagine they're going to open up with the Death Necklace play. Here it is. Now you want to see as many stop spells as you possibly can to conserve that HP going into the next fight. Starting off with 40, here comes the Hurt More. This is barely just below what they would be going into the DL2 fight. 2 herbs left. Let's see if they, gonna go ahead, chew on one, gets another Hurt More here. 1 more left to try to preserve that opening double or triple. And here we go, 105 MP going into the DL2 fight. It's possible, but this could be close. Do they get the back attack? No.
I gotta say, even going in there with full MP, if they roll low, could spell trouble. Oh. Did they... Oh my, I'm not sure if that was a miss menu, a bad calculated play. That they do have the Death Necklace on, so that would have been quite a that would have been quite a setback. Fortunately, they were able to make it on a fairly low roll attack from the Dragon Lord. That unintentional double should pretty much seal it. The higher attack power definitely lowers the variance that they have, making that average a little bit more narrow. Make the Gaussian sharper.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was happening there, if that might have been a miss menu or what was going on, but Yeah, that force double here is going to just about seal this up. And wow, getting hit from 49 there, the max, because they are at 85 defense. And already down to one more heal more here. Could potentially get a double out of this one. No, not quite. Down to the last few attacks.
And
Alrighty.
does pull it off. So they were one attack away. So even without that unintentional heal more, they would have had, or double, they would have had just enough. As we have our first runner completed. Going ahead and formalize it by talking to the king, and GG's to JanusZeal, who has finished in first place with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Yeah, and then Cyberdark now not terribly far behind. Just needs to go ahead and pick up one more level, which he should be able to do on this grind trip right here. And yeah, it's not going to be too much longer here. Just need to get up to level 17 and then basically do the same thing that Janus did just now. Oh no! Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Cyberdark was talking in race time chat, may have been slightly distracted. Going... refill on keys? Going down into the grave, maybe thinking with that AP it might be faster to grind on metal slimes.
I don't think you're at one-shot territory until you get to 134.
I think it's 139 actually for the guaranteed one-shot, and 130 something for guaranteed to do damage. Maybe they just want to get hurt more by, excuse me, deal 2 breath by one more blue dragon.
We have invited Janus to join us here in the commentary booth, and they will be along momentarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't be quite surprised if their heart is racing quite substantially right now. Given the narrow loss to the Dragon Lord that they had.
Absolutely.
Now, given the close proximity of a town to heal up on, it wasn't necessarily as bad as it could be. That being said, they would have had less HP going down for that second dive, making it a little bit more difficult to get down there with full MP.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the nasty part of failing with the Death Necklace on in this particular scenario. But fortunately, not the case here. Just a complete victory in style, even.
Oh, nice.
Putting on the Death Necklace. Now he's going to start hunting metal slimes. Now we've got the guaranteed one shot. Now we just got to find them. What's going to be even funnier here is I believe he can cast outside and walk up one tile to get himself booted out of Tantagel.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. A better restreamer would have been able to get the sound over fast enough to get that Death Necklace music on.
Yeah, Gon, but we don't see it terribly often, but it has been talked about in chats throughout this tournament that throwing on the Death Necklace for that might be worth it for a metal slime grind, and we are seeing it here. There have also been talks occasionally about throwing on the Death Necklace for, you know, if you're around 110, 120 attack power and you want to fight red dragons, you might want to grind there. But with that ding, we do have JanusZeal here in us with the commentator's booth. Janus, congratulations. How you feeling about that race?
Feeling good, except for that one mistake we won't talk about on the Dragon Lord.
Oh. I was going to ask you about that. I imagine that got your heart racing a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking here in chat about the fact that you got that forced double that made it look like it was going to be a guarantee, and then unfortunately ended up having to double heal more afterwards. Were you feeling like you were on track to win? It seemed like it could have been a little bit close either way.
I think the math was as long as I had some pretty decent rolls, like average and slightly above, it would be pretty close to a lock. I rolled at least 2 20s in there, so I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I want to say you pretty much ran the entire range. Saw a couple of 20s there, saw a couple of 10s, which got me a little bit worried. But yeah, after we were after we noted the little bit of a mismenu there and the close call, I lost track of the count. Cyberdark, meanwhile, was not too far behind you. Was about a level or two behind most of the race. Caught up while you were diving and fighting DL2, and is now in the grave killing metal slimes with the death necklace on. This is something I haven't seen in a while. He's in one-shot territory right now, just having a grand old time down here.
Yeah, there was a point that I was considering if I didn't go on 17 or if my dive failed on 17. I was debating putting on the death necklace and going to that desert over by Hawksness, because that also had metal slimes in that zone. And that zone seemed to have at least 2 of 5, maybe 3 of 5 metal slimes. There was a lot.
Yeah, I think we just saw like back-to-back-to-back metal slimes on Cyberdark's screen. I was kind of wondering if he was going to go all the way to 18 that way, but no, did choose to leave, and looks like he is going to make his dive now.
Yeah, going straight down. Unfortunately, with only 107 HP, doubles are less likely, and the dive down is going to be a little bit more harrowing. Substantially more agility, 97 going down, making those runs away from the enemies a little bit easier. I don't believe we saw a AK-47 the entire race.
Yeah, no.
I didn't see an armor wearing anything, Knight, Armor Knight, or Axe Knight.
I saw a few Knights.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that desert and mountain zone right by Remoldar had a bunch of Axe Knights. I killed a few with Hurtmore.
I was looking at the left side of the screen, I imagine. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I don't think I saw an Armored Knight at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think we saw it. That's one of the things we were kind of wondering about as to what mysteries could still await us in Sharlock. Basically, at that point, I think we had it narrowed down to, I want to say, Green Dragon, Star Wyverns, Werewolves, and Armored Knights were the only things that we hadn't seen. And then, of course, we saw the fun, Star Wyverns having the DL2 breath. But by the time you saw that, it didn't really matter. You just walked it right off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was a little worried about some of those mystery enemies, but agility was pretty good, and with like 150 HP, I could run fail a couple times and still be okay-ish.
Alright, we have Cyberdark86 on the first true basement floor of Charlock. Getting caught up a little bit by one of them stone men. Unfortunately has to use a few herbs.
Yeah, this is where it gets really tough, because when you put on that death necklace before going into Sharlock, you really just don't have those resources to try to save on the MP. And not only that, Cyberdark is running strength agility, so 97 agility is great when you're trying to run, but 107 HP is it's a little bit tougher and very, very unlikely to get any doubles here. It does have 88 defense, so that is good to see. But yeah, things are going to get a little bit tough here without some good run luck, and especially again casting Radiant as soon as he got to that first basement floor cost him to heal more, so things could get a little bit dicey here.
They could be. We do know that JanusZeal finished with one swing left in the tank. The double heal more mitigated that one unintentional double, so I think we'll see a similar dive, but with one less similar final fight, but with one less heal more.
Janus, I want to turn things back to you for real quick while Cyberdark finishes up his dive. We were kind of wondering up here in the commentators booth. I mean, you had the option of, first floor Sharlock might have been an option for the grind. You had the Stoneman over there in Hawksness, and then the Red Dragon in the Swamp Cave. We saw Cyberdark go back and forth for a little bit because he didn't quite have the MP boost that came at 15 when he was starting his grind. Was it a question in your mind as to where you wanted to go to grind?
I believe I had already, when it was time to grind, I had killed the Red Dragon to get Gwaylin, and I was noticing I was doing, I think I two-shot the first dragon when I went to rescue Gwaylin, and then three-shot the next one before noping out to make sure I could outside. So I was like, I might have to heal or death warp a couple times, but it was a fast enough grind in my thought process. And then, of course, if I saw a bunch of strength gains and no MP, I was like, I'm going to go and kill metals if I need to.
I see. Yeah, that would have been an interesting potential turn of events, but fortunately, the MP did show up, just enough MP showed up at just the right time in order to make it work, and now Cyberdark86 is going to start this Dragon Lord fight. Back attack, but it's a stop spell, doesn't matter. Just a little bit of a gotcha game, but now this is where things get a little bit spicy, as I'm not sure if Cyber has any herbs left.
I'm not sure. They definitely have enough for a few heals. We won't find out. No back attack for them, and they get 17 attack on their first swing.
Very important to note, though, that Cyberdark is basically going into this fight down 2 attacks because that spent heal more plus that no opening double, again, could make this really close. 18 now for 35 total damage. But again, already down to just 5 heal mores.
But swinging very high with a swing for 18 just now.
53 puts him a third of the way through the fight. 14 going to put him up to 67. So swinging well above average so far.
Unfortunately, pretty large attacks and a lot of deal 2 breaths. So no real chance of doubles just yet. And there's a normal attack for 46. So yeah, still no real chance for doubles.
Swinging really high, though, with back-to-back 19s, and maybe questioning how many resources he has left. Would really need, like, 2 really... Wow, 19, 19, and 20, the last 3 attacks for Cyberdark. My goodness, probably about 120 damage in here. Can't win the fight. Another 20! What is this?
This is incredible. And another 20 as he does defeat the Dragon Lord.
I can't believe it. He just turned that Dragon Lord into Swiss cheese. I've never seen anything like that. 19, 19, 20, 20, 20 will do it. Guarantee you 2 noting 165 on the button. And get out your GGs for Cyberdark86 has finished in 2nd place with an official racetime.gg time of 1:37:54. Says that he will be here in the commentators booth with us momentarily.
Absolutely incredible finale to this wonderful race. Clutched it out. I don't know how much of a... I don't know what the final count was. That was 165, so he did cover the entire spread on that last attack, and with 156 hit points, even if a couple attacks had been a little bit lower, he probably would have had it. But that large attacks all the way at the very end, I think he was maybe thinking of a heal or a hurt more or something, try to get that swag kill. But yeah, those big attacks definitely convinced him otherwise. So while we wait for... Oh, nope, no more waiting. Cyberdark86, welcome to the booth. GG, sir. Well played. And Initial thoughts.
While we wait for... Oh,
Don't use
we're
them.
waiting. Cyberdark86, welcome to the
Yeah,
show.
that was unfortunate. I noticed that you were waiting on slow there while everyone was readying up, and I was wondering if you're going to menu up, and unfortunately you didn't. Cost about a minute there at the start, but yeah, slow text speed is pretty darn slow.
Yeah, and I reset and then forgot and had to reset again. And then where's the silver shield? I really could use that.
I did not see one, but I didn't check the Cantlin shops.
Cantlin didn't have one; they didn't exist in the seed.
No, they
Oh,
didn't, and
dude.
I had gold all the way too. Yep, I did an initial gold grind right up to the max. I searched everywhere. Eventually, I found a magic armor. I think I had hand axe and then picked up Erdrick sword anyway. But I just went every shop trying to find that silver shield and couldn't find one anyway. Also, those coordinates.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
that was pretty
coordinates.
great.
Yeah, Cyberdark. It was a valiant effort trying to count those out. Unfortunately, I saw you doing the trying to really kind of count it out and do the systematic check, and unfortunately, it was right there on the coast. I don't blame you for the hurt more after you did find the armor.
Yeah, I might have been 1 or 2 steps away when I actually went back with the princess. Janus, where did you grind? I started on the Stone Man and eventually went back over to the Red Dragon, but it wasn't really great either way.
I did the Red Dragon the whole way at the end.
Okay, I didn't want the Red Dragon because I was only getting like 1 or 2 per death, so I figured I'd go for Stone Man and get 3 or 4 instead.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was on a HP build, so I think I had maybe a little. I think I got 2 or 3 in my first death, and then I got that 20 or whatever MP level.
Yeah, 20 MP near the end, and I went for 17, and there was none there either, and by that time you had finished.
Yeah, I ended up going to 17 because it's like, well, Red Dragons, it was only like 6 more or something from 16 to 17, and then I took a Death Warp after that, and then was like, well, I'm going because if I rolled well, it's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have been again a little bit close, and the force double heal more did bring it down, and the bad rolls did bring it down to the last attack, but you were able to pull it out. Then of course, Cyberdark basically turned DL2 into Swiss cheese. That was pretty entertaining to watch in its own right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put on the
19,
death
19,
necklace after you
19,
finished.
20.
Yeah, after you finished, I said, well, I was thinking about grinding metal slimes. Let's go for that instead.
Yeah, I had kept that in the back of my mind if either didn't get MP or got enough of a strength boost. I was like, well, I know where 2 or 3 different metal slime zones are.
I could only remember the one that was on top of Grave.
Yeah, the desert to southeast of Hawksness was also a metal slime zone.
Ah, might have been easier. Either way, when I went into Grave first, I was figuring, okay, well, Wolf and Wolf Lord ended up fighting more Demon Knights than anything else, which worked for a little while.
Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering if you were going to be looking for metal slimes. I had not noticed that there were wolves and warlords down there. That does make a little bit more sense. Choosing that one as a kind of mid end game grind option. So that answers the question I hadn't thought to ask.
That was my grind basically for Healmore. I knew I needed Healmore to beat the Red Dragon to get the Princess, so I figured I'll get Healmore in there. I don't know if I ever saw a Wolf Lord, but there was some in there. But Wolves and Demon Knights and the Odd Metal Slime worked out. Of course, the Demon Knights kept dodging, but you know.
That's what they
They
do.
tend to do that. Yeah, exactly.
But they kept casting Stop Spell too, so Anyway, GG, well deserved. I really screwed up that run, and good luck in the tournament going forward.
Thanks. GG's was a good one.
Yeah, I think this was a good race overall. Good one to watch back. Seed that provided a little bit of challenges just in the sense of not having a lot of HP or MP to start with, but some good divergence in strategies here. Both of you taking advantage of the early gold grind and having it pay off a little bit at least, being able to get some gear out of Breckener at the start to kind of speed things along. Looking ahead here, Janus, of course, will be moving on to face the winner of Smashy and Archfield Monk. Janus, how you feeling about that?
Should be interesting. Whoever I get paired against. In both cases, it should be a good match.
Absolutely. I think you put on a great show here, and I think absolutely made a case for continuing to move deeper into this bracket. So best of luck to you there. Real quick before we close things out, I'll turn it over to Cyberdark. Any last comments before we move on?
Yeah, actually, that gold grind, doing it all, and then coming up to hand axe, chainmail, and large shield to start. It's like, oh. But either way, GG's. Good luck to everyone else.
Yeah, it can be pretty tough. It's so tempting when you get that level 1 gold grind to try to go all the way and get yourself that huge boost, and sometimes it pays off, and then sometimes you just walk right into Hawk's Nest, and unfortunately, that's about the size of it here. Elmore, before I take us out, did you have any other questions for our runners?
No, GG to both the runners. Great job, great race, and just thanks to everyone who helped us put on a good show. Obviously, both our runners as well as Lavky and myself, and Aaron to you too, pulling the switches in the background.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So with the schedule pulled up here, just looking ahead in the next couple of days, got plenty of action for you guys as we go through the first round of our 32-man bracket stage. So tomorrow we've got Beta Strep and Sparkover. Should be an excellent, excellent match there at 5 o'clock Eastern. 6 o'clock Eastern, Sash Lincoln Marshu. Then we've got Zarnax42 and Mr. Data himself, Asmati Games, rounding out the night. 3 more matches on the 23rd. And really just every day for the rest of the week, plenty of Dragon Warrior randomizer action coming your way. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, please drop a follow on both of our runners. Cyberdark86 and JanusZeal6 have put on a fantastic race for you here tonight. Please go ahead and drop a follow on my co-commentator and restreamer, Elmore St. James, and Aaron to you two doing the tracking. Of course, I am Lavkian. And if you out there in the audience have not joined us in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, all you got to do is click that link and you will be instantly warped into a community of people who would love to help you get started on your Dragon Warrior Randomizer journey. Casual races are still happening every single day as people get ready for this bracket stage. Of course, there is that challenge bracket, so you can keep an eye on what's going on in the bracket stage and the schedule link for you as well. But until next time, we are going to take you over to Apex Corvid, who is also still in this bracket stage, doing a little bit of practice for himself. So let's go ahead and head over there and cheer them on. But until next time, please, everybody, stay safe so that you can join us for that next race. And until tomorrow, have a wonderful night, everybody. Oh, I didn't know you were going to host instead of raid. I always watch